Welcome to the studio at Africa's Green Economy Summit. Today we are joined in studio by John Roome, who is the Regional Director for Sustainable Development for South Asia at the World Bank. Thank you so much for joining us today, John.
Great to be here.
So you'll be speaking later this week on the opportunities for green investment in providing a sustainable future in Africa. What do you want the main focus of that speech to be?
I think the key message is that there are lots of opportunities for Africa to take a green development pathway. That means low carbon and climate resilient, but it can be done in a way that also meets development needs: better agricultural production, better access to energy, better urban mobility. It can come together. And there are some good examples out there in Africa and the rest of the world to learn from. But right now, Africa is not capitalizing on those examples to the extent possible. Therefore, what's necessary is to bring together different stakeholders, policymakers, financiers, investors, to structure deals to create the markets for enhanced renewable energy, enhanced rooftop solar, climate smart agriculture, reduced food loss and waste, better water management. If we can bring all of those partners together, there's a huge opportunity for Africa to grow in a green resilient way.
And you've said that Africa is not capitalizing on all of its opportunities at the moment. So given that your focus is on the sustainable development, of South Asia, what sustainable practices do you think can be adopted here in Africa that have been successful?
I think if you look in India in particular, they've made a commitment to renewable energy and a greener path going forward. And they've put in place bulk procurement of electric light bulbs. They have enabled rooftop solar to take place. They have developed solar parks that created the enabling environment for the private sector to come in. And so you can see that by putting these policy building blocks in place, you can get a very quick ramp up in renewable energy, in electric buses. And so that's one set of examples. On the other extreme, on resilience, there's lots of very good examples in Bangladesh where they've worked with local communities to build resilience against flooding, early warning systems, better use of dikes, places where people can move, and adopting elements of climate smart agriculture.
That's great. And so what do you think are some unique opportunities for sustainable development that are unique to Africa?
I think there's two broad categories I would put. One would be on renewable energy. Africa has huge natural sun capability that can be used through concentrated solar. It can be used through rooftop solar. It can be done through solar parks. And this provides an opportunity to generate energy much more cheaply. And in particular with new technology, this can be done on a distributed network. You don't need a huge mega power plant with a distribution network that runs across the whole country. So the technology developments combined with this power of the sun gives Africa a great opportunity in renewable energy.
And as I'm sure you're aware and have just mentioned, Africa is just bursting with opportunities, but there's no funding, available for Africa to actually capitalize on these opportunities. So what steps would you like to see African leaders taking to ensure that the continent is attracting all the investment that it needs to progress?
So I think the key message for what African leaders to do is to create the enabling environment for private sector investment to take place, green private sector investment to take place. So that means reasonable prices for electricity. So if you're going to do a rooftop solar, you can sell it back into the grid. Contract stability, all the good things that are important in order to attract normal kinds of investments. African leaders should continue to do that. They should put in place a vision and a commitment that by 2030 or 2040, these are the kinds of things they would commit to, and then put in place a strategy and implementation policies behind it. That will provide the enabling environment for finance to come in. Now, of course, the international community should be providing more international concessional finance to Africa in order to do it. And that can be a political debate that they can lobby on and talk on. But I think that if Africa is doing the best things for itself, it increases the probability of increasing that set of international finance in any case.
Great. Thank you so much for letting us pick your very knowledgeable and experienced brain here today, John. It's
Thank
been
you
an
very much.
absolute pleasure speaking to you.
Thank you very much.
And to our viewers who are watching, you can share your thoughts with us in the comment section down below, or you can like and subscribe to see more content like this. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.